Yeah. Get the ball.
Got the ball, the long ball into the box. Nick is there. Can he put it in? Goal, South Florida! Unbelievable! Now for Brian. It's in the goal! It's a shot. South Florida goal! Hello everyone and welcome to Brandon, Florida for South Florida Football Academy's return to the regular season after a dominant performance at MLS Next Fest in Arizona. South Florida winning all three of their games. Some would say by narrow margins, however, all three games were big wins for South Florida. And we return to the regular season now with our first game against the West Florida Flames. South Florida, participating in the Florida division of MLS Next, needs to win a few games here in order to qualify for the Maryland tournament that will be coming up in May of this year. Top 7 teams qualify. And South Florida, unfortunately, is just outside of that margin, with these two games this weekend set to be big deciders in their future. For those of you who are unaware, MLS Next at the U15 division splits into two different leagues. They have MLS Next League Play, which is a separate set of games, from MLS Next Flex Play, which is another area which is what leads you to the qualification for the MLS tournament. Now, South Florida has not played a lot of these games. I believe that they have only played about 5 matches thus far in MLS Flex. So they're definitely going to need these wins this weekend. Coach Jordan expecting a lot from this team after their performance in Arizona and to continue that win streak. Now, the weather today is fantastic soccer weather as the temperature is starting to drop. It's right around the 60s here in Central Florida. We are on the West Coast, hence the West Florida Flames. But tomorrow's temperatures are set to be at 38 degrees. Now, that is a considerable drop for us Floridians and something we don't experience every year. Now, the games tomorrow will take place in Clearwater, and that's where the temperature is going to be 38, where South Florida will be set to take on the Chargers for this second game of their 2-game road trip. So what do you think of South Florida's chances this weekend, Jeffrey?
Well, the chances of coming away with 2 wins is very good. Coach Jordan has done a great job of reforming this team into winners, as they did in Arizona. So I think the chances are very good in their favor for wins this weekend. Now you, with your comments on the weather, I just want to let you know how you're talking about 38 degrees. Oh, we Floridians, we can't take the cold. You better get used to it. And I know that these boys are going to get used to it because it's going to be freezing tomorrow and they better be ready for it.
Well, I'm sure they will be, but their focus, Jeffrey, is on the game today. And today the weather is just fine. I'd be remiss if I didn't point out a couple of things. One is Crosby is back to the lineup, returning to the lineup after a long layoff due to injury. Crosby is back with the team, not starting today, but available as an option off of the bench. And also, it is Jaden's birthday today, so we want to make sure that we wish a special birthday out to Jaden. And we will be back to you right after a word from our sponsors.
If you want to show your support for the Mad About Soccer YouTube page, then head on over to Techie Apparel and pick up one of these banging shirts that they have on for sale. You won't be disappointed in these one-of-a-kind designs. And if t-shirts don't move you, then have a look at what else they have to offer from one-of-a-kind cleat designs like these. Or if that doesn't move you or tickle your fancy, then you can always take a look at what else they have to offer. They have not just shoe designs, but they also have many other things in the soccer genre that you might enjoy. So head on over to Techie Apparel and take a look. You may just find something that's worth buying and help supporting Mad About Soccer as they bring you the very best in MLS Next and beyond.
All right, welcome back, everybody, as we bring up the lineup for today. Coach Jordan James on hand, along with SFFA new U15 NAL coach Callum Coakley is also on the sidelines with us. So starting off today's match is going to be Joaquin and Nick up at the top, along with Gavin, Brian, Matthew, and Julian in the midfield, with Matthew starting out today on the left back. Brandon is out due to injury. We have Edon, John, and Jaden making up the rest of that back line, along with Colton in the goal. South Florida also sporting a deep bench, which is not characteristically common for South Florida, with Jadiel, Nico, Martine, Crosby on the bench today, as well as Ale. So a plethora of substitutions for Coach James if he chooses to use them, which typically, as it has been through Next Fest, they have been a crucial part of the game, changing the momentum and bringing on scoring opportunities whenever they have been employed. So a deep bench for South Florida will hopefully bring a win today, as it has throughout Next Fest, and hopefully today. Start of the game coming up. Don't go anywhere. The action will be here in just a moment. Do you want to see some really great photos of soccer games and wildlife? Head on over to M_J_Beard at Instagram, and you will see some of the most amazing photos you will ever see, and it'll be hard to believe they were taken with a camera and not just being seen in real life. These are some amazing photos, and I strongly encourage you to head on over to M_J_Beard to take a look at these great shots while you can. Well, before we get started, anything you think they need to focus on today, Jeffrey?
Well, I think what South Florida needs to do today is focus on the mental game, staying in it, sticking with the plan, and just execution. That's what's key on this particular age. It's not so much the soccer, it's just keeping their minds focused on what they need to do in their training. And I think if they do that, they have an excellent chance of coming away with a top result today.
Well, I happen to agree with you there. It is difficult to keep this particular age group's mind on track and focused on what they need to do. And that absolutely is correct. That will be key to getting a good result today as the boys huddle up on the field just before kickoff. I can only imagine that, they have to be hyping themselves up just a little bit. Again, confidence needs to be sky high after their results in Arizona. Now, it has been a few weeks since that. We went right into our break after Arizona, and this is the first game since their return, just about a month after the fact. And here we go. South Florida starting off with the ball. Edon has it back with yards of space in front of him. Puts the ball out long to the left, and unfortunately there is no South Florida player there. Not the best start to the game, but not the worst, as the Flames take this throw in. They're bounding around a bit. South Florida happens to come away with it. Joaquin tried to get it off to Nick. Unfortunately, the Flames come away with it, and they're switching the side of the field. Flames field is turf, as Jaden intercepts that ball, and it goes out of bounds for a first throw of the game, or second throw of the game, sorry. Most of these fields are turf. There are some grass fields, but these fields particularly are turf. Turf than all-weather surface here in Florida, which is what you really need. South Florida could desperately use some turf fields, as the majority of the practices before these games had to be canceled due to weather, and the team forced to find other accommodations in order to continue practice. Long throw from Jaden into the box. Lands in the box. Matthew gets a foot to it, Matthew H. And Brian trying to get there, can't get it. Gavin now on the ball. Gavin able to turn it around. He gets it off to Joaquin. Joaquin loses it in the middle. Jaden comes away with it. Gets pulled down, but no foul called. He is heading for the corner. He's able to turn the ball. And looks like he's going to win a corner for South Florida. First corner of the day. South Florida. Brian stands over the ball. And it's a short corner to Nick. Nick facing up his opposition, passes it off to Brian. Brian into the box, nobody there. Ball goes out to Gavin. Gavin back into Matthew. Matthew over to Brian. Brian takes a little slip there, manages to get back over to Matthew. Matthew to Jaden. Jaden switching the field now. He gets it over to to Gavin. Gavin now on the ball, dribbling inside. Looking for a pass, finds Matthew. Matthew back to Edan. Edan popping it over to John. John able to avoid the tackle, gets it over to Gavin. Gavin trying to head it back, can't do it. Matthew now able to head it back into the fray. Headed back at Matthew. Matthew back again. There's a long ball. Looks like Jaden's going to get that. No, Edan. Edan takes a long touch on that one. Is able to get that one off to Nick. Nick with a nice move around the Flames player. And he's dribbling down the sideline once again. And he cannot get it off. It goes out of bounds for another throw.
Look at this sweet little move from Nick here. A beautiful little nutmeg. Oh, the Flames player didn't know whether he was coming or going. And Nick had a free run down the sideline as a result. If we can perform like this throughout the game, it's definitely going to be a win.
Well, you could say confidence is what inspires players, and confidence is definitely what helps them execute moves like that. And that is one thing Nick has plenty of, is confidence. As the Flames now making their way down the field here are stopped by Brian, but they still maintain possession. Flames looking over the field and decide to cross it way over to the left side. Jaden there to intercept. Flames maintain possession. Flames now trying the middle of the field. Matthew there to intercept. He puts the ball up the field. There's nobody there. Flames now again working the ball over to the right side. Looking to play the ball through the middle. They do. John goes down on the ground. Not sure if there was a foul there, but Don deals with the ball in the box. And Matthew H. now stands over it. Long ball down the sideline. Nick is there. He's got two on him and wins a throw. All right, Matthew H. now surveying the field. Throws the ball down long to Nick. Nick returns it back to him. Now the ball back down to Edan. Edan with a big, long cross. And there is Jaden all by himself with nothing but green in front of him. He is running down the sideline, trying to make a little cutback. Cross into the box. Hits Brian. Brian with a back heel to Joaquin. And Joaquin can't get it through. But it finds Gavin. Gavin with a shot. And it's a low dribbler to the goalie who covers up nicely. Well, so far South Florida has definitely found the route into the West Florida Flames territory. And it's been down the right side through the use of Nick and Jaden moving that ball. Flames now trying on their own right side to try to get ahead. But ultimately having to pass back. And now switching it over to their left. Flames being patient, trying to find players to pass to, so far unable to.
Oh, let's just take a minute here and look at this. South Florida's got players in the box, but there's way more Flames players there. And Gavin takes a nice little snapshot there. Unfortunately, he doesn't get his foot wrapped around it, and it just hits on the ground, skipping along the ground. And that might be an easy ball for the keeper in most cases, as it was right there.
All right, throw into Matthew. Matthew back to Edan. Edan back to Matthew. Matthew now trying to make something happen. He has to pass back to Edan. Edan looking ahead. Pressure's starting to come. Looking up, using his left foot. Passes it to Nick. Nick with a flick forward. And he manages to get around the Flames player and plays it into the box. Joaquin is there. He gets a foot to it, but no corner. Goal kick for West Florida. West Florida starting from the back. Again, Florida not really pressing them as much, South Florida, and trying to draw the Flames into their defense, and they play this ball down the sideline. Brian now applying the pressure. Flick over the top. Matthew there to get a foot to it. Gets it off to Julian. Julian to Joaquin. Bodies hit the ground. Joaquin plays this ball into the middle, looking for someone to get onto it, but it's the West Florida keeper who collects it and rolls it out to his right. West Florida now looking to move up the field. Puts the ball down the sideline. Now back to the middle. Looking for the give and go. Can't find it. Matthew H. sticks his foot in there. Gets it off to Joaquin. Joaquin trying to play it to Brian. He does. Brian plays it over to Julian. Julian now with time in the ball, plays it through. Can somebody get there? Looks like Nick is. Nick does. Nick surveying the box, puts it through. Oh, nobody is there, and it's going to be another ball for West Florida.
Well, this is good thinking from South Florida. They put the ball into spaces, knowing Nick's going to use his speed to try to track down this ball, and he does in this case. He just puts the cross a little too high if he was looking for Joaquin, but it was a good effort nonetheless. Good thinking from South Florida.
Flames keeper puts it through the middle. Flames looking around. Oh! Pass intercepted by Nick. Nick's at the top of the box. He drives in. Shot! Crossbar! It is parried away by West Florida. And looks like it's going to go out of bounds for South Florida throw.
I can't believe we've hit the woodwork again. This was a major problem in Arizona. Nicky with a gift here in the middle of the field. He shoots it left-footed and it just hits the tip of the crossbar. Oh, what is going on here? That should be 1-0 South Florida.
Well, they often call the woodwork the goalkeeper's best friend, and it definitely was in that circumstance, as the ball hit the crossbar, went straight down, right to the waiting feet of a West Florida defender who then kicked it away. How lucky can you get? As the West Florida keeper once again comes out to the edge of his box. He's going to pump this one long. John, they're trying to get a foot to it, can't do it. Jaden trying to do something, he can't. Edon finally heads it forward, then followed by John's header. And Julian now trying to make something happen. And Joaquin coming over to intercede, but it's going to be a throw for West Florida. West Florida look for a long throw down the sideline. Their player gets ahead to it, but I don't think he's going to have the speed to close that down. And it's going to be a goal kick for South Florida. Colton taking it short, playing it to Edon. Edon looking forward, finds Matthew. Matthew makes a turn there, doesn't take a touch on the ball. West Florida now in a position, shot, blocked by John. Matthew trying to win it back, can't do it. West Florida in a dangerous spot here. West Florida maneuvering players into the box area and shot well over the crossbar. They may have just got away with one.
Well, this was definitely luck on the other side of the field for once, as this shot, uncontested, but well over the bar. And I think Colton would have had a decent chance of saving that one, even if it was on target with that distance.
All right, Colton playing it short once again to Edon. West Florida Flames pressuring. Whoa, what a cross there from Edon all the way over to John. It just whipped around that defender of West Florida as they now are pressuring Colton. John now with the ball, playing it down the sideline. Can't find anybody. Matthew intercepts. Jaden plays it over the top of the defenders, looking for Brian. Julian gets a foot to it. Julian to Joaquin. Joaquin trying to put it back. Matthew got the ball long up the field. Gavin's going to get there, and he's
tripped. That's a foul.
And it's going to be a foul.
Ah.
This should be a yellow card. He looked like he was in on goal, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to see what the referee does here.
Well, we'll have to take another look here at this play. It doesn't look like the referee is going to give the yellow. Nicky is asking for it. But this referee isn't even paying attention to him. He's just pointing out the spot of the foul. Now, let's take another look here. This is a great ball from Matthew as he spots Gavin on the trot. And there it is, over the defenders and right into the gap there. And there is Gavin. Oh, and it looks like he may have tripped on his own foot. Maybe from contact from the defender beforehand. But, I don't want to have him go back and look at that one again.
Well, we always remind our viewers that there is no VAR in the MLS Next, and thankfully for good reason. We definitely want to see that one come back. As Nick stands over the ball here. It's a shot. Parried by the goalie. Oh! South Florida goalie, Donovan, the captain, has put in the goal.
Magic.
His first goal of the MLS next season. And South Florida leads 1-0 here in Brandon, Florida, home of the West Florida Flames.
That was a beautiful goal there, being at the right place, at the right time. The captain puts it in the net. The keeper doesn't stand a chance. He's still getting to his feet from that amazing block. But it wasn't enough to keep Edon from scoring his first goal this season. Good lad, way to come through. South Florida, 1-0 in this crucial match of the MLS Next Flex League.
All right, well, we'll see how West Florida reacts to that as Edon emphatically put that ball into the back of the net. He was not messing around on that one. This ball going long down the sideline. John trying to fight for position, and he's going to win a goal kick for his team. See how West Florida Flames react. As I said once again, you never know how teams are going to react to it being scored on. Are they going to shut down? Are they going to fight back? We'll just have to wait and see as this ball's played up to Matthew H. Matthew H. back to Nick. Nick now looking around, getting harassed. Was looking for Edon again, but couldn't find him. Now makes a run through the middle of the field. Passes the ball up. It gets deflected. Nick finds it back at his foot again. Trying to make something happen. Can't do it. Flames now on the attack. They've got a runner free on the left side, and he is in the box. This could be dangerous. Cross dealt with by the captain, and it is sent long into the path of Jaden. Jaden now trying to get a foot to it. He's working hard on that sideline, and it's going to be a throw.
Well, the captain getting it done on both ends of the field here as he deflects this ball coming into the box. You can see 1, 2, 3, 3 West Florida Flame players into the box on that cross. If Edon doesn't deal with that play, we'd be looking at 1-1 in no time.
All right, well, another long throw by West Florida Flames into the box. Edon passes out to Brian. Brian, being cautious, passes back to Colton. Colton now on the ball. Plays it over to John. John now with time on the ball. Dribbles out to the right. Fakes to Colton. Still has time. And plays long up the middle of the field to Nick, who is wide open. Nick playing this ball over the top. He's going to find Matthew H. Matthew H. now trying to cross into the middle, looking for a handball. The number 4 from West Florida just deals with it and puts it out for a throw. Matthew H. now on the throw-in. Throwing long and into the box. Headed down, Matthew able to get a foot to it, trying to get it in. Trying to pass to Joaquin, can't find him. Struggle for the ball. Like nobody can find this thing for South Florida. And West Florida Flames managed to get out. Jaden now with the interception. Jaden and Matthew H. going for the ball. Ball put into the box again. And West Florida Flames get out. Gavin now on the ball. Gavin putting ball back into Joaquin. Can't find the feet for South Florida. And West Florida Flames now playing over to the right side trying to escape. South Florida on them like a pack of wolves at this point. But West Florida is calm and able to work their way out of this difficult situation. Now West Florida in the middle of the field. Passing back to maintain control. Now over to their left side. Looking for people to pass to. West Florida finally finds a white shirt. Again, South Florida being patient with their presence. And West Florida forced to pass back to their keeper. West Florida playing over to the right side. Plenty of time on the ball. Ball goes long and up the right side of the field. Flames players there to collect it. Passes it over to the middle. Oh, deflection there. Brian trying to bring it down. Now Julian. Julian able to poke it free, and now he's on the run. Julian now looking for someone to pass to. Finds Matthew. Matthew trying to get it back up the middle. Can't do it. Decides to pass over to Gavin. Gavin now running down the sideline. Puts the ball long and is trying to leg it out. Can he get there? He cannot. And West Florida maintain possession. West Florida now back on the attack. Crossing the field all the way over to the left side. Can their player get there? And he plays it off Jaden for a throw. West Florida playing back. Very patient. It is very early in this game. Plenty of time for them to get back into it. As South Florida struck first and struck early. So now it is a defensive action for South Florida. Flames now trying to put this ball in the box. Edon kicking it away. Nick doing the same. Joaquin fighting for position. Can't get to the ball. Flames now passing over to the left side. Flames with the cross in the middle. Deflected by Brian. Nick now on the ball with a quick pass to Matthew. Matthew back to Nick. Nick pops it in the air. Matthew trying to collect. And there's going to be a foul call.
I'm kind of curious about this one. Because I really don't know what happened. Let's take a look here. Nick plays the ball with his foot. Matthew gets in there. He's fighting for the ball, no foul there. West Florida Flame player sticks out his leg and trips Nicky, and we get called for the foul? I have a hard time understanding that one.
Well, we don't always have to understand. We just mainly have to follow, unfortunately, as Jaden again pokes this one out for a throw. Flames throwing back and crossing the field. And again, surveying the field. They put the ball in the box. Matthew heads it away. Hits Julian. Julian now looking for someone to pass to. Ball gets deflected up the field, but Joaquin is trying to make a play on it. And the Flames play back to their keeper. Keeper to their center back. Center back back to their CDM. Nick there trying to make a steal. Can't come away with it. And the ball played over to the right side. Flames again looking. Puts the ball down the sideline. And Don kicks that one into the other field of play. Well, so far play has kind of come to a standstill. Now both teams desperately trying to get the ball into a scoring position, but not having much success. That was a nice cross into the box, but the Flames can't capitalize. It seems like this is way it has been going for the last 5 or 10 minutes or so, as both teams are getting opportunities of plays into the box, but the defense shuts them down pretty quickly. So it's become pretty conventional at this point, as John plays this ball long up the field, and the Flames having to kick it out of bounds.
Well, I have to agree with you on the state of play right now. It seems like South Florida is playing mainly a defensive type of play and trying to capitalize on the Flames' mistakes, where the Flames are trying to penetrate the South Florida defense with long balls into the box, but aren't having much success so far. It's not to say that they won't get lucky, because we all know the team who makes the fewest mistakes typically comes away the winner.
Well, wiser words have never been spoken before. I would have to agree with you there, Jeffrey. As the Flames play a nice ball over to the right side, they're getting numbers into the box. Once again, Matthew tried to get a foot to that one, can't do it. Flames forced to play back now. This number 4 has taken shots from way outside before. He elects not to this time and plays it out to the left side. Ball into the middle of the field, played back. Center back standing over the ball. He plays it long to the corner. He's got a player there with the header, but it's going to be offsides.
Well, this is still a good idea from the Flames. When you got time to do this, you're going to put the ball into dangerous areas, but you can see their player is offsides clearly, way behind the line of South Florida.
All right, well, South Florida, and Don stands over the ball to take this goal kick, or free kick. Plays the ball long up the middle of the field, headed back by the Flames. Don kicking it back forward. Flames still on the ball. Nick now applying the pressure, trying to win the ball back for South Florida, and is called for a foul.
Well, I'll say this. When you're an aggressive player like Nick is, you're going to get called for fouls. And unfortunately, Nick has his hands all over that player, trying to throw off his concentration, and he gets called for the foul.
All right, Julian heading this one back down the sideline. And Flames maintaining possession. No real presence here from South Florida, allowing them to keep the ball in their half of the field if they'd like to. And why not? They have the lead. Flames try to kick this ball up the sideline. Jaden's going to be there. Getting roughed up by the striker from West Florida. Ooh, nice little move there. And he gets out. Ball into Brian. Brian trying to play it over to Matthew H, and he does. Matthew H back to Edon. Edon up to Gavin. Gavin to Matthew H. Matthew H to Edon. Nice little passing sequence here. Edon in some trouble now. He gets the ball off to John. John immediately has pressure. He's going to have to shield this ball, and he does so well. And the West Florida Flame player is called for the foul.
Well, look at this beautiful little play here from Jaden. That's as smooth as silk, that is. And he gets the ball off. And then here is John using his size to his advantage. Look at him shield this ball off from this West Florida Flame player, who has no choice but to push him a little bit. And the referee sees it and calls him for the foul.
All right, John stands over the ball, kicks it short, although not that short, as Jaden is wide open. Jaden trying to play it long, can't do it. West Florida Flame player gets a piece of it. John there to recover, but ends up kicking it long. Matthew now intercepting. He plays this ball long up to Joaquin. Joaquin now with some yards. Passes it into Nick. Nick looking around. Nice little ball into the area for Brian. Brian just can't wrap his foot around it, and it goes wide of the goal. But a good passing sequence there from South Florida, and some space that they have not seen in the last 10 minutes or so, finally starting to open up. As the Flames start to pass this one around the back, they are wasting precious time, although this is still the first half. You'd think that they'd want to be eagerly trying to get on the scoreboard before halftime. They are taking their time. Flames now passing around the back, looking down the sideline, and this ball goes right to Don. Don passing it up to Gavin. Gavin over to Matthew H., but intercepted by the Flames. Flames now trying to break that line of South Florida. Can't do it. Forced to pass back. Flames now again starting from the back. Looking around. Not finding much luck other than the long ball, which they've played pretty effectively in this game, finding the open players on the sidelines. Number 4 now trying to make something happen with some moves. Nick coming over. Now Joaquin, he pokes it free. Flames able to maintain possession. Flames now again passing to the other side. Playing it into their striker, can't find feet. Julian able to pass it back to Jaden, create some space. Jaden over to Matthew. Matthew getting just harassed there, loses his shoe, and is called for a foul.
Well, I don't agree with this one, and you're going to see why in the replay. Matthew's protesting it, saying, "Look at my shoe. It's off my foot. How did I foul him?" Well, look here. He takes a bad touch with the ball, but as he's trying to recover, the West Florida Flame player steps on his foot. How's he going to be called for a foul in that one? Oh, that's a terrible call by the referee.
This is about 25 yards out, but in a good spot for the Flames free kick. As the referee is set to blow the whistle. And we're going to have the free kick here shortly. Here it comes. Shot. Oh, man, that was a bullet. And it goes right into the back of the net. Colton trying to get his hands up to deflect, just couldn't do it.
Well, I will tell you, that was a missile. And it was on a search and destroy mission for anything that got in its path. Paul Colton's hands probably would have been obliterated if he got a hand to it. Oh, that was well struck by the Flames player, and it's 1-1. Can't believe it, but that was one heck of a strike, I must say.
All right, ball played over to John. John now surveying the field, plenty of time. Plays it long, gets the deflection. Matthew now getting back on it. Plays it into the path of Joaquin. Joaquin trying to tap it over to Nick. Can't do it. Matthew passes it up to Julian, but Julian can't get there, and the Flames keeper collects. Well, that was a good response from South Florida after the goal. At least they tried to put something together that could potentially have been a scoring opportunity. Flames play this one short. The left wing here trying to communicate with the captain from West Florida, looking for a ball over the top. I don't think he's getting the message. Ball played across the back. Nick there to apply pressure. And the Flames play it across. Nick there, interception. Plays it over to Gavin. Gavin into Joaquin, but no, it ends up going to Brian. Brian able to fight it through. Brian plays it back over to Matthew H. Matthew H. now lining up the cross. Oh, he gets into a pickle there. Let's see if he can get it through. He does, and it's grabbed out of the sky by the keeper from the Flames as that ball was aimed for Julian's head. Just couldn't get there. All right, well, West Florida Flames now back in possession. Passing apparently slowly. South Florida just seems to be patiently waiting for the ball to come to them. I don't see much running. There's a slight jog here going on. Again, South Florida just happy with them having the ball in their half of the field. And West Florida Flames are also happy to oblige them. So, as we get ready to go into the half, we're about, I'd say about 5 minutes away. Here's some signs of life. West Florida trying to bring the ball down the sideline. Long ball into the box. They've got a player there. John is on him. Now making a turn. He's got plenty of white shirts to pass to, but pass blocked by John, who dribbles it out. Ball up to Nick. Nick to Joaquin. Joaquin's got other runners with him. Oh, he gets pushed off the ball, and that's going to be a foul.
You woke me up there from a deep sleep. Oh, that's definitely a foul there. Oh, I might have to go back to bed now. When are we going to get some fire in this game? It's 1-1. We need to start getting the ball back into the box and creating opportunities. The ball's played over to Matthew H. Let's see if we can get it done.
Hansen with a long ball into the box and right at the keeper as Julian was coming in there, again, trying to get ahead to that ball. West Florida Flames keeper standing tall, waiting for all of his players to get out, and rolls it out to his right side. Ball being dribbled up the right sideline now. And pass back. And now worked over to the other side. Center back pointing out players. He plays this ball long up to the left wing, but he's called for offsides.
Well, so far, South Florida's defensive line has been holding pat and playing the offsides very well as they let this left wing for West Florida come around the corner. He's all by himself and for good reason because they held their line for the offside.
All right, John putting the ball down. See what he decides to do. Passes back to Colton. Colton with a couple different options here. Gives it back to John. West Florida Flame striker having to run. Here comes the pressure to John. John forcing the ball up the sideline. Flames intercept. Now they've got players on the run, and it's another offsides call.
Well, if it's by accident or by design, it's definitely working, whatever it is, because this was a dangerous ball. If this wasn't offside, this may have been a goal, because they had the player streaking in from the right.
Well, so far, I believe that's 3 offside calls against West Florida, as South Florida has held their line exceptionally well here, as Matthew H. is making a long run up the sideline. He's got some speed, and he places the ball across, but it's intercepted by West Florida. Having to get up and hustle back now, as West Florida looks to capitalize. They put this ball down the left sideline, but Adon is there to meet it. Adon getting harassed here. No foul call right in front of the line judge. Don't know how that doesn't happen. And he passes it back to Colton. Colton under pressure gets it off to John. John looking for someone to release to. There are West Florida Flame players everywhere at this point, and he has to force it into Julian, who cannot contain control of it. Well, I will tell you, it's very difficult at this stage to get the pass off as Joaquin pokes this one free for a South Florida throw. All right, throw-in coming from the Flames. Long throw. Brian trying to get a foot to it, can't do it. John now applying pressure. West Florida Flames pass back, but a nice long ball up the sideline of the field here. And Don giving chase, and the ball's put over the goal. Oh.
I may have just woken up, but so has West Florida. They're starting to key into this. That South Florida has very few defenders back here, and they almost took advantage of this to the tune of 1 goal. As you can see, he's totally unmanned there, and he had a free shot. South Florida cannot afford that. Going forward here in this game, they'll end up coughing up a goal, mark my words.
Well, Colton plays short to John. John has already met with pressure. Playing over to Jaden. Oh! Left wing for West Florida. Jumps in front of him, stealing that ball. Makes a nice move to create space. Crosses into the middle. And Don there to kick it away. Ball bouncing in the air here. Brian now getting ahead to it. Trying to get Joaquin. Joaquin interfering with the ball there. But not enough to get it back into our possession and commits a foul.
Well, that's clearly a frustration foul there. Joaquin is trying hard to win possession up at the top of the field, and he just sticks his foot out there, and the player trips over it. It's going to get called every time.
All right, the Flames like to go short. Again, not a lot of pressure here from South Florida. They pass the ball along the backside all the way over to the right. Gavin there. Gavin now again applying pressure, forcing the Flames to pass back. Flames now coming across to the other side, test their chances there. And Flames again with a lot of time on the ball, plays the ball into space, but no white jerseys running for it, and this ball's going to go out for a goal kick. Goal in front of the box now. He's got two options, Don and John as always. Don now passing this ball over to John. John with a touch forward. Passes it up. Everybody just kind of let it roll, even the Flames players, and it goes to the Flames. Flames now in possession in the back. South Florida pushing up a little bit higher. This one in possession of their goalie right now. Goalie with a little touch passing here in front of his goal. South Florida pushing a lot higher than what they have been. And this ball now into the middle of the field. Here come the Flames. Flames now passing out to the right. Passing into the middle. Matthew there to kick it away. Looking for Nick. Nick's just backing up from the ball, and the Flames come and intercept. Flames now in possession in the middle of the field. Julian gets a toe to it. The Flames still continue on. Flames now moving the ball over to the right side. Number 4 with a nice little move on Gavin, gets around him, and it's going to be offside on the Flames.
Well, I think at this point, Coach Jordan is just waiting for the halftime whistle because these players just seem to be asleep out there. The Flames are passing wherever they want to go. And yes, we're getting our toes to some of the passes, but we're not getting the ball back. We got to play more aggressive.
Alrighty, Don with a long ball up the middle of the field. Takes a deflection from the West Florida Flame player. Julian now giving chase. Can't get there. It's going to fall to Jaden. Jaden with the ball, return ball to Julian. Julian can't handle it. Jaden trying to take it back. Can't do it. And the Flames get a nice ball down the sideline. John there trying to cover. Takes a deflection. Matthew hits it off the defender. Don there. And Don dribbling out of the back. Gets it off to Colton. Colton plays it out to the left side and out for a throw. Wow, that was some dangerous play there from the West Florida Flames.
Oh, you got to like a striker that just goes in there, guns blazing. Doesn't matter what you throw in front of him. He's just going to continue, and you can see here, he just keeps on moving. He just keeps on trying to get his foot to the ball, keeps running after it. You got to admire a player like that. Good run.
All right, well, throwing for the Flames. Momentum has definitely shifted in their direction, and South Florida really hasn't put much on the goal of the Flames, where the Flames have at least threatened the goal of South Florida. Whoa, flying kick there by the Flames left wing. Didn't make contact, but it did look exciting as they played in the back of their goalie. South Florida really kind of being cooled off here as the Flames continue to punch holes in their defense and trying to get this ball into the goal. Flames now into the box. Sliding tackle from Hansen, and he puts that ball back up the field where the Flames will get possession once again. Coach Jordan on the sideline looked like he's trying to encourage his players to push forward or push out or create something before the end of the half. Flames again threatening, this time from the left side. Deterred there, pass back, and try to work the other angle. Gavin going to meet the ball. Ball played in. Player with it at the top of the box. Now another cross. Coming across the top of the box. John able to get a foot to it, but it doesn't go very far. Jaden coming out to challenge. Flames get the pass off. And now over to the right side where they give it away. Well, halftime almost there. I think we went from fifth gear down to first. The foul's called here. This is just going to be a short little foul there. Looks like a little push in the back of Brian. Not much, but we'll take it. We'll take what we can get at this point. But we've started in fifth gear. We've shifted down to first, I think you could say. As Zidane takes this one short, plays it over to John. John now plenty of yards here to dribble into, and he takes them. Plays the ball nicely up to Jaden. Jaden bringing it down with his foot, passes it into Julian. Julian got some time here. Can we form an attack? Passes it off to Brian. Brian to Joaquin. Joaquin with the shot, deflected, and it's a corner.
Well, thank goodness we're getting something done here. There's the delivery. Oh, parried away by the keeper. Kept in front of the goal. Kicked away. All right, there. Can we get the ball, lads? Matthew heading it back into the box. Brian with the foot to it. Puts it into the path. And it's another corner.
All right, Brian lining up to take this one. See what South Florida can do here. All played into the box. Nobody can get ahead to it except for West Florida, but it stays alive. Keeper misses the parry, but lands on top of it. I don't know if it's Lady Luck's against us or what, but definitely on the side of the keeper as he missed that completely and then came down on top of it to save the day. Flames now playing into the middle. Nobody goes to the ball. Matthew takes a stumble. Brian now harassing the West Florida Flames player, and there's going to be a foul called here late.
I don't understand this. This is a very small foul. The referee probably should have just kept going on. But here we go. Headed up in the air by the Flames player. The keeper comes out, tries to punch it. He ends up getting a piece of it on there and lands on the ball for a good play by him in the end. And then this, I don't even know where the foul is here. Brian's just letting them know he's there. They still got the ball. Play on. Why are we stopping the game for that? Ugh.
All right, Flames take it to the wide. And they're lining up another cross, which they do. Matthew tries to get on. Can't do it. Shot. And it's a dribbler towards Colton. I don't think he was expecting that ball to get through. It happened to go under Matthew's leg, and that's going to be halftime. Coach Jordan out to address the players immediately. We'll be back after this, 1-1. We're going to see some really great photos of soccer games and wildlife. Head on over to M_J_Beard at Instagram, and you will see some of the most amazing photos you will ever see, and you'll be hard to believe they were taken with a camera and not just being seen in real life. These are some amazing photos, and I strongly encourage you to head on over to M_J_Beard to take a look at these great shots while you can. Well, Coach here addressing the troops in halftime as the subs go out to warm up. Coach Callum as well in attendance. Don't know, what do you think? Do you think he's happy or mad right now, Jeffrey?
Well, I think he's got to be absolutely ecstatic with how they played the first 20 minutes of this match. But the last 20 minutes was an absolute snore fest. I got to tell you, they're not doing much out there except for parrying the ball away. They've got to get more committed to winning this game if they want to come away with a result. Because right now, the way it's going, it's only a matter of time before the Flames score again. They need to get some fire back in their bellies and come out there and just spew it all over the Flames and put them out. Put out the Flames. You get what I'm saying?
No, I hear what you're saying, Jeffrey. And, you know, this is something unusual. Well, I shouldn't say unusual. This is out of the norm. After seeing them in Arizona and how they played against those other teams, it never really seemed to drop off the tempo. But you can see there's a clear tempo drop off here in this game where South Florida really hasn't gone after the ball with as much verve as they did in Arizona. So maybe that's what they're getting and talking to right now from Coach Jordan, as he is trying to get them motivated to come out in the second half and get some more goals so they can put this away as a win. And you can see him emphatically pointing fingers, going at each player. And I mean, listen, nobody is immune here. I think everybody has their faults. They're going to be talked to about them, and hopefully they'll come out and they correct their actions accordingly.
Well, I have to agree with you there, but I don't want to be too harsh on these lads. This has been a tough week. The training has been difficult because of the lack of fields for South Florida. It's been difficult for everyone. I think that this is going to be a good result for them. I think they're going to come out in the end and really take it to the Flames. We'll have to see what happens in the second half. But my money right now is on South Florida.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Jeffrey is taking bets, wanting to see if you'll put your money where your mouth is in this game and see if you'll go South Florida's way.
Oh, you want to be cheeky, huh? You want to try to put my money out there. Jeffrey's money. I work hard for this. Doesn't mean I don't believe that they'll win, but hey, don't be putting my money on the table.
All right, noted. More from our sponsors, and we'll be back to the action for the second half. Are you looking for something new and unique? Then head on over to our sponsor, Techie Apparel. Techie Apparel bringing you all that's new in the soccer world with unique designs, one of a kind that you can't find anywhere else, from t-shirts to mugs and even to cleats. Yes, cleats, custom-made cleats like these Venom cleats that you cannot find anywhere else, only at Techie Apparel. That's Techhy at Etsy.com, Techie Apparel. Also, for something out of this world, you can see our new Galaxy cleats that are up for sale. And believe me, they are one in the universe, and that is it. So take a look, come on by at Techie Apparel, Techhy Apparel at Etsy.com. All right, folks, we are back here for the second half of the South Florida Football Academy versus West Florida Flames. And Crosby has checked in for South Florida. Crosby making his return to the lineup here today after a long layoff due to injury. We hope that he's all right and he's going to have a dynamite performance here today. We'll see how it all turns out. As West Florida now in possession of the ball, they're trying to move it over to the left side, but not having much luck. And it looks like they're looking to switch it, as they successfully do. This time Nick able to poke the ball away, but it's still going to be a West Florida Flame throw. All right, down the sideline. Doesn't seem to be going anywhere other than another throw, which West Florida now puts in the middle of the field. Ball is loose, still finds West Florida feet. Don there to shield it, and does so effectively to win a goal kick. Cole putting the ball down, plays it over to Edon. Don now looking up the field, taking the space, turning the ball, playing it back to Colton. Colton under pressure. Colton playing it to Edon. Can South Florida work their way out of this? They do. They find Brian. Brian now up to Crosby. Crosby with his first touch in the game wins a throw. Crosby throwing the ball in, finds Nick. Nick poking it to Brian. Brian trying to make something happen. Nice little back heel to Nick. And now Nick is off to the races. Nick down the sideline. Cross into the box. Gavin now with it. Joaquin, Brian there takes a shot. It goes wide of the net. But this is much better in the second half from South Florida.
Aye, it is. Look at this cheeky little back heel here from Brian. As he just pokes it back there, he sees Nick. And then Nicky is off to the races. He puts the ball into the box. And here it is again for Brian. And he just can't put it on target. And it goes wide of the net. But much better overall from South Florida here in the start of the second half.
All right, Flames taking a page out of South Florida's book, playing it short. Working over to the left side. Julian now making his presence known. Flames passing. Now going back to start over again. Flames now passing into the middle, passing back. Passing over to the left. They got a player who gets over the midfield line. Ball down the line now. John there trying to deal with it. Shot. And it's going to go wide of the goal. No threat to Colton. Colton gets the ball quickly, passes over to John. John with the long ball up the right side of the field. Jaden's going to get there. Jaden fighting for this ball. Wins a throw. Jaden now, long throw up to Brian. Brian with one touch pass into the path of Joaquin, but he couldn't get there. And West Florida plays this back to the keeper. Keeper playing back over to the right side now. Nick there trying to obstruct the path. That's a nice little through ball by West Florida. He gets a foot to it, but it just goes right to Colton, who's able to collect it nicely. And again, no threat to South Florida's goal. Colton rolling it out to the left side. He has Edon. Edon taking the space, trying to pass that ball to Brian, gets it off to him. Brian to Crosby. Crosby into the middle of the field, finds Joaquin. Joaquin was trying a nice little turn pass, couldn't complete it. And Crosby trying to win it back there, but gives up a throw. Throw again from West Florida. All the action so far on the right side, or South Florida's left side, you could say. As West Florida brings this ball down into the box. Edon letting that striker know just who he's messing with down there, but gives away a corner. Flames now on the ball. It's a nice ball, but Colton jumping into the air to collect that one. No problem. And he is looking around at the top of his box, and he rolls short to John. John playing the ball long up the field, looking for Jaden. Can he find him? Jaden trying to use his legs to get that ball. Can't do it. And the Flames now are back in the attack. Flames working the ball down the sideline. John giving chase. Got a foot to it. Can he win the ball? Flames still maintain possession. Ball into the box. And there's going to be an offsides flag yet again.
Oh, take your pick here at where the offsides occurred, because I can point out 2 spots here. So there's one. I'd say he's clearly behind the defensive line. And then even the next pass. Look at where this lad is. He's definitely in front of the defensive line. So no matter where they went, they were in an offsides position. Good play by the defense.
All right, John stands behind the ball for this free kick. Just waiting a little bit. West Florida Flames make some substitutions here. Colton now on the ball. Colton with some pressure in front of him gets it off to John. John now looking up the field. Headed back by West Florida Flames. They've got players up front here. This could be dangerous. Right in front of the box. Shot deflected off the back of Crosby and into the hands of Colton, who keeps it in bounce and punts it up the field. It's a low punt, intercepted by West Florida, but then quickly got back by South Florida by Gavin. Nick in possession now, dribbling through the middle of the field. No real pressure as of yet, and he's starting to put on those afterburners and tries to get it into the box. Can't find a South Florida player. Nick back on the trot again, slide tackles into that one. Ball's kicked up the field, and West Florida is going to be on the run here from the left side. As West Florida player cuts inside, he passes it off into the box, and it's going to be out for a goal kick. Nick is down on the ground. I think he's suffering a little bit from that slide that he took, but he seems to be back on his feet and back in the game. Colton now from the back. He's going to go short to Edan, who has a little bit of room now. He's getting pressured immediately. Puts the ball into play. It's a nice pass up the middle, trying to find Crosby. Can't get it to him, but it's going to be a throw-in for South Florida. Crosby now takes a long throw, looking for Joaquin, and the ball is put back into the midfield. South Florida having to rush to get back here. West Florida is definitely on the attack as John's trying to slow up the defender. Crosby able to parry that one away. Joaquin now trying to get possession again, but can't, as West Florida maintains and is now working over to the right side of the field. And given away easily by West Florida for a goal kick. Colton standing over the ball again. Edan's coming over. And now it looks like the center backs are going to move forward. And it's a long kick by Colton looking for Jaden. Can't find him. And the big substitution from West Florida finds the ball. And now they're trying to work it inside. Jaden comes back. Number 4 just falls on the ball. No foul called. And another sliding tackle in there. And the ball ultimately kicked away by West Florida.
Well, number 4 for West Florida is all over the field here as Jaden tries to shield this ball. He sticks his foot in there, and one can argue possibly a foul, but it looks like he's making contact with the ball each time. He's sacrificing his body, and he's really working hard for that ball. Good play for him.
All right, South Florida once again, goal kick. This one sent long up the field. Headed out by West Florida into the feet of Brian. Brian now looking for an outlet. He finds Crosby. Can Crosby keep it in? He cannot. And it's going to be West Florida again with the ball on a long throw. Don is there. Don shielding this ball. And does so well, but it turns into a corner for West Florida. West Florida corner. We've had several on the day. None of them have really been threatening. This one in the back post. Kicked up in the air and over the goal. I'm surprised that with West Florida, the height that they have, they're not trying to put this ball more into the center of that box, but they've overshot it a couple of times and another time put it right into the hands of Colton. Brian having some problems in the back, able to get out of there, gets the ball off to Matthew. Matthew to Nick. Nick now trying to make something happen on the left side for South Florida. Puts this ball down the line and into space. Gavin is going to get there, and a sliding tackle from West Florida to prevent the advance of the attack. Gavin with a very short throw to Nick. Nick puts this ball into the box right at the keeper, who just drops to his knees and collects that one. Not exactly where I think Nick wanted to put that ball, but it was a good idea. West Florida Flames keeper taking his time now. Still 1-1. Plenty of time left in this game. And he puts this ball out to the West Florida Flames left side. Flames playing it back now. Playing in front of their goal. Nick showing a little bit of a pressure, but not a lot. West Florida now, time on the ball, plays it over to their left side. A little bit of razzle-dazzle there, not really needed as Julian stays in front of the player. He passes it across the field, intercepted by Gavin. Gavin with some room to run here, gets it off to Nick.
Oh, he's in.
Nick could be in on goal here. He's all the way in. Shot! Blocked by the keeper. It's still in play. Can Joaquin get there? Joaquin does. He tries playing it across. It's to Julian. Julian tries to get a shot. Can't get it. Nick on it. It's stopped by the keeper in front of goal, and he's on top of it, and we just cannot get that ball in the back of the net.
Oh, this was a better effort than most of this half with South Florida. Nicky had the shot. That was a great save by the keeper. I'm sure we'll see a replay of it. But that's what we need more of, is those interceptions and going back on the attack.
All right, well, the ball played up the field. Joaquin fighting for position, able to get it off to Brian. Brian still in possession. Nice little 1-2 inside. Can't get away with it. Jaden ends up getting to Matthew. Matthew to Brian. Brian now with some time and space, trying to put it in the path of Nick. Can't find him with the through ball. And it goes out for a throw-in for South Florida.
All right, well, here's a grand opportunity to look at this. Nicky is past that last defender using that lightning speed, and he tries to place it in the right corner of the goal. He does it well to parry it away, and then Joaquin trying to center it back. It takes a nice deflection in the path of Julian, but the West Florida Flame player just gets a foot to it, and then that slow little dribbler almost got him, but we couldn't get it past the mighty keeper of West Florida.
All right, well now Jaden, the long throw in, almost finds the edge of the box there. West Florida parrying it away. Jaden now having to find it out with this large West Florida player. West Florida now placing the ball up the field. Colton is there. He's going to kick it away. He's looking for Gavin. Cut out by the West Florida defense. West Florida now trying to formulate something. They're getting players forward. West Florida dancing on the ball, being delayed by John. Don comes over to get a piece of that one. West Florida still in possession. Joaquin doing his best to try to win it back, but can't do it. West Florida played over to the left side. Number 4 again, trying to make something happen with the ball. Long ball into the box. There is nobody there, and Colton's going to grab it just as a West Florida player comes to meet it. Colton with a long throw up the middle of the field looking for Brian, and he finds him. Brian pushed to the ground, and we're going to have a foul against West Florida.
Well, things are getting hectic out there on the field. There's a lot of emotion. People are starting to panic a little bit, and would throw that ball right at Brian. He does his best to control it, and he gets muscled to the ground by this large West Florida player, and he earns a foul for South Florida.
Alrighty, Don over the ball now. He's looking for Crosby. Long ball actually finds Nick. Crosby on the overlap. Nick cutting it outside. Drawing 3 players. He tries to get it back off to Crosby and can't find him. Nick on the throw. Finds Matthew. Matthew trying to take a quick shot. Ends up hitting a West Florida player, and they are on the run now. West Florida with 4 players in the attack. South Florida desperately trying to get back. And this is going to be a shot from West Florida, and it goes wide right. Oh, they're going to wish they had that one back, as it turns into another goal kick for Colton. And he sends this ball long up the field. The captain for West Florida heads it back, but he heads it back to the middle of the field where Joaquin is waiting. Joaquin trying to get a pass off to Julian, can't find him. Number 4 from West Florida, who appears to have been everywhere today, goes in with a sliding tackle, almost takes out Matthew in the process. West Florida now in the box. John able to parry that ball away. Number 4 fighting through and gets a foul called for think it was Julian. Not 100% sure.
Well, you could say one thing about these West Florida players, and it's that they don't have any fear. Because I've seen some reckless play there. That actually should have probably been a foul as he lifted that leg to trip Matthew. But they just go diving in, head first, just sacrificing their body to get through. And that was on Joaquin once again. The foul there as he hooked the arm of number 4 as he went by. So, dangerous free kick here, almost similar to the first half. Can lightning strike twice?
Well, about 20 minutes left in this game. A goal here would be difficult to recover from. Shot, and it's way over the bar. So, South Florida escaped that free kick. Don places the ball on the ground, and he blasts it up the field. There are West Florida Flame players there, but there seemed to be some confusion. But unfortunately, South Florida can't capitalize. Ball up the field to the big number 77, who heads it out for a throw. Jaden looking to use that long throw of his, and he does to great effect, putting it downfield. 77 in West Florida. He punts the ball up into the middle of the field, and West Florida goes on the attack again. Brian trying to delay, staying in front of the West Florida player. Now he travels over to the left side. Finds number 77, who makes a quick move on Jaden. Gets it to the number 4. Into the box the ball goes. Joaquin trying to defend. Gavin able to get that one out of the area. Finds Nick. Nick gets pushed off the ball. No foul. And a shot that goes well wide. Although Colton goes sailing through the air, I don't think that was anywhere near the goal.
Well, it's hard to tell here. I see Nicky gets the ball. There's hands all over him. He got called for something similar earlier in the match. I think that's why he's complaining. Because he just spun him around as he was trying to control that ball. The door swings both ways. It shouldn't just swing one way only.
All right, well, Colton again delivering long up the field. Ball finds Jaden's feet. Jaden with 2 West Florida defenders on him draws the foul.
Well, Jaden has a difficult journey ahead of him as he has a mountain of a man to get by every time he gets the ball. Number 77 comes to close him down. And he runs right into him. Thank goodness he got up from that collision.
All right, John stands over the ball to deliver this free kick. And he goes long up the field into the middle of the box. Joaquin gets ahead to it to head it forward. But unfortunately, nobody can capitalize on it as Crosby sprints back to collect this ball. West Florida come away with it. West Florida puts the ball into the box. Colton's there waiting and scoops it up easily. South Florida slowing things down a bit, not looking to go right on the attack. As Colton punts this one at Crosby, who heads it into the middle, looking for Nick. Nick's going to save the ball. With a nice little move around the West Florida player. Referee says play on. Nick calling for the cross. Puts it in. Deflected by a West Florida player. Joaquin tried to track it down. Couldn't do it. Ball up the field. John there to secure it. And he passes it forward to Matthew. Matthew to Brian. Brian now switching the side. Looking for Jaden. Can he find him? He does. Jaden with number 77 all over him. He puts the ball into the box. Headed away. Can Brian get there? No, he cannot. And there's a collision and a foul.
Well, I got to tell you, the last time I seen moves like these, it was on the dance floor. Nicky, making all kinds of effort today. Look at this. The ball is, I'd say it's still in. What a move. The player doesn't know what to do. He's asking everybody, what just happened? As he got blown past by Nicky. And then unfortunately, Brian on the other end collides with the West Florida player, giving them a foul, but ultimately stopping the attack.
All right, well, South Florida is going to the bench as they look to make a big switch here. Brian, Joaquin, Julian, and it looks like Gavin are all coming off for Nico, Jadiel, Martine, and Ale. So, big swing switch for South Florida. Coach Jordan is known for this. Makes these switches with about 20 minutes left in the game. And that's right about where we're at. And he has done so with great effect, having each of our games at MLS Next Fest affected by the use of the bench. So we will see if this plays out for today's game as Colton sends this one long. Headed back in by West Florida. West Florida now on the attack. At the top of the box, Crosby containing. Trying to take it wide. Ball over to the side. And Nick able to get a foot to it, and it's going to be a West Florida Flame throw. West Florida taking it pretty quick. Cutting inside number 9. Looking for somebody, can't find anyone, passes across. Number 4 again with a quick move inside, but stopped by John's shot into the side netting. Number 4 is determined to get into the box today, as he has done so many occasions. Definitely a player to try to contain moving forward, as Don is trying to dribble this ball out and having a slide tackle to save it, but number 4 again from West Florida comes up with it, passes it over to 77. 77 now dribbling into the box. He's got some speed for a big man, but also into the side netting. And this is getting dangerous for South Florida. They have to find a way out of their half of the field. Ball up the field to Jadiel. Jadiel playing it over to Jaden. Now they have some space to run. Jaden looking for something. Number 4 slide tackle again. And this ball is out for a throw for South Florida. Jaden throwing the ball down the field. Headed away by West Florida. Matthew giving chase. Can he get there? Pass into the box to John. John passes off to Matthew. Matthew looking long. Nobody there. West Florida again makes a pass, takes a deflection off one of their players and lands conveniently for one of them as Colton races out to kick this ball forward. West Florida again passing out to the right side. No more taking time for West Florida. They're just going right at South Florida as Crosby knocks this one out of play. West Florida, like sharks smelling blood in the water, are really going at South Florida. They have every white jersey on our half of the field as number 4 moves this one over to 77. 77 playing back, which is a wise thing to do. Ball chipped into the box. There is a player there. He gets a foot to it off the side post. Crosby's trying to defend, and it's in the goal. 2-1, West Florida. South Florida is looking for an offside call. I don't think it's going to come this time.
Well, I can't blame them for looking for it because they've been so good today with their back line. But this is a beautiful ball into the box. It hits the player right on the foot. Where is the defense? Shot. Oh, off the side post. Crosby is there. He's trying to clear to the best of his ability. And he just can't do it. There's a player there on the side post. And he just stops it in for the easy goal. 2-1, West Florida. Let's hope that we can use our time wisely and get this ball back.
Well, South Florida electing to immediately send the ball long and back in the West Florida possession. Kickoff now. West Florida goalie passes it over to the left side, number 4. Ball in the backfield. West Florida now taking their time, of course, since they now have the lead. Roughly about 10 minutes, maybe 12, left on the clock. West Florida passing back. No rush from West Florida. Like I said, they're in control right now. South Florida remaining with the game plan. Trying to cover all of the bases here to prevent West Florida from advancing. They put a long ball into the space. Colton is there and retrieves easily. Now let's see what South Florida can do. Colton throws out to Jaden. Jaden gives up a throw. And Jaden is taking up a lot of space here as he throws this ball down the line. Nick in pursuit. Cannot get there. West Florida send it long once more. Number 14 from West Florida blows by Edon, but Edon quick to recover and gets a foot on that ball. Number 14 trying to move around. Edon can't do it because Crosby is there to cover, and it's going to be a West Florida throw. West Florida heading it into the box. Crosby there to clear. Nick now on the ball. Gets it off to Martin. Martin with his head up. Puts the ball out there, but number 4 yet again is there and intercepts. Number 77 is sprinting down the left sideline of West Florida. He cuts in. Shot, and it's well wide of the goal. South Florida cannot afford another goal if they want to come away with some sort of points in this game. Edam playing across to John. John up the field one more time. Headed down by number 4. 77 now on the ball. Passes. Matthew intercepts. Matthew up to Jadiel. Jadiel trying to make something happen. Can't do it. John sprinting up to the ball. John trying to win it. The West Florida player is playing on the ground, and it's eventually called by the referee.
You know, I wish I could say that South Florida deserves the win today. But looking at these West Florida players like number 4 and this number 7 here, look at what he's trying to do. He's trying to get up and win this ball. Look at the fight in him. South Florida somewhere along the line has lost that fight. They need to get it back if they want to do anything in this match.
John plays short to Matthew. Matthew up to Nico. Nico now trying to get it to Crosby and does. Crosby with a quick little move here on number 14, cutting inside, and he wins a corner. Oh, actually a throw. Thought that was out for a corner. Nico throws it in, finds Ale. Nico trying to return the service. Can't do it, but gets a corner this time. Nick over the ball. Nick plays it into the box. Oh, keeper comes out and punches it. And 77 tries to clear for West Florida, but ends up giving away a throw. This is going to be South Florida ball.
Well, this is a good corner by Nick. Puts it right in a dangerous spot. The goalie's forced to come out, and he gets a good punch on the ball. It's a good clearance by the keeper.
All right, South Florida on the throw. Jaden's got it, and he's going to throw back towards Idan. Idan trying to fight through 2 players, can't do it, but wins another throw in the process. Idan now on the ball. Idan trying to make something happen. Throws it in. West Florida parries away. Oh, man. This could be trouble. There's only one player back, and it is Nico. And he is fighting for his life back there. Can he do it?
Oh,
he
there's
does.
the goal line.
He pokes it free, and there goes Nico. Look at the fight. There we go. There's the fight you were talking about, Jeffrey. As this ball goes up the field, now Jaden's on the run. Jaden looking for the cross. He gets it off. Nick is there. Oh, the goalie comes out. Oh, everybody's calling for a penalty. Everyone. No one's calling a penalty. You've got to be kidding me. Coach Jordan is absolutely losing his mind on the sidelines, ladies and gentlemen. Play is continuing on as 77
What
takes
game
the
are
strike
they
this goes out
watching?
of bounds. I can't believe it.
Well, before we get into this travesty of a call, let me get into our super subs here. This is why we call them super subs. Look at little Nico. He's the last defender there. Idan had to run all the way back. Nico comes up with a big steal there in the box to prevent West Florida from going ahead with another goal. And then he delivers a strike of a pass that starts this attack. And there's Jaden. He puts a beautiful ball into the box. And this is very wise from the keeper. He comes right out. He gets in front of it. But here's the absolute unbelievableness of referees. There's clear contact in the box. There's no call. The sideline judge is like walking away like he didn't see anything. Even the fans on the sidelines are going bananas. And you can see there, that was the contact right there. And it goes down. Look at the fans. They're even saying, oh my goodness, I can't believe it didn't call nothing. And Coach Jordan has to absolutely be going mental on the sidelines. Look at him. He can't contain himself. Everybody saw that on the side. They can't believe it wasn't called. What are they looking at? I don't understand it one bit. That's absolutely crazy.
Well, crazy or not, play must go on. Jaden is throwing this ball with everything he's got. Heads it back. Jadiel gets control, passes it to Jaden, back to Jadiel. Jadiel trying to make a move on it. Still maintains possession, trying to make a move on this number 4. Not happening. Jaden again with a long throw. Coming into the box. West Florida headed away. Jadiel trying to get something. Ends up winning a foul. And this is a good spot for a free kick.
This is a very good spot for a free kick. And Jadiel does well here. Look at number 7 all on top of him. And that is going to be a foul.
All right, Nick stands over the ball. And he is looking for the go-ahead from the referee, and there it is. Ball put into the box. Oh, the keeper has to put it over the net just to keep it from going in.
Well, this keeper has made some great saves today, but this one definitely is the number 1 save. Look at that. Just swiping it over, under pressure. Wise decision.
All right, South Florida with another corner. Nick into the box. Oh, Crosby tried to get ahead to it. Couldn't do it. There is a scrum for this ball, and South Florida could not come away with it. West Florida keeper stands tall with the ball and is urging his players to get forward. which is kind of odd. You'd think that they would opt for possession. He kicks this ball straight into the air, lands just short of midfield. South Florida get ahead to it. Now it's just a game of kickball right now. As John applying some pressure, and West Florida's going to win a foul.
Oh, I'll have to see this. Let's see here. John's letting him know he's there. Aye. Okay, and then he falls down. How is that the foul? Where is that the foul? How is that the foul? And then them taking Nicky's legs out from under him in the box isn't a penalty. Where is the line here of what's a foul and what isn't? Every referee should have one.
All right, well, never mind that. Nick is now on the run. He's got Crosby tailing him. And he brings this ball into the corner. He's able to get around and puts the ball into the box. West Florida's still there. West Florida now able to get the ball out. But it only goes to the feet of Adon. Adon has Colton back. He opts not to use him. Plays Nico. Nico now playing the ball in. Matthew getting a foot to it. Martin trying to get there. Crosby now. Everybody trying to get up on this ball. Crosby able to block it. And it's going to be a throw for West Florida. West Florida throwing this ball down the sideline. And it's going to be another throw. This time, West Florida. West Florida now throwing again. Headed down and out again. Another West Florida throw. West Florida opts to not go on the line this time. This one again is headed by South Florida. Nick on it, and Nick earns a foul here.
Oh, this is a good job by Nick. We needed a foul. We need to be able to get out of this area. He reads the ball well and draws the foul. Good for him.
All right, free kick, South Florida. Adon stands over it, rolls it out for space. And he delivers a long ball towards the front of the box. Headed back by West Florida. Now South Florida chasing the ball, trying to get back on defense. Jaden able to get back. John, Matthew, Adon are all back for South Florida. Ball played into the box, but it goes out. And it's going to be a goal kick taken quickly by Adon to Matthew. Matthew trying to play this ball long, finds a West Florida player instead. Ball back in the South Florida half. Crosby's going to track it down here, but a West Florida Flame player gets to it first. West Florida trying to dance in the corner, burn time, play it up to the top of the box to their captain. The captain dancing on the ball, plays it back. Nico and Crosby trying to apply pressure. Ball into the box, which Colton grabs quickly and throws this one out to Nick. Nick now with a quick turn. Looks across the field, spots Jadiel. Jadiel now on the run. West Florida with 3 defenders back. Shot! Blocked by the keeper and covered up very nicely. Yet again, this West Florida keeper coming up big for his team. Blocking another shot and showing patience and bringing calm to his club. As he punts this ball long, John able to get ahead to it to Jaden. Jaden heading it forward. The number 7 for West Florida heading it to number 77. 77 now going on the run down the left side. Plays it into the box. Adon able to get a foot to it. It dribbles out. Matthew and Martin trying to give chase. Goes back to Adon to John. John now having a fight to keep possession of this ball. Can't do it. West Florida shot. Blocked by Colton. Adon now on the ball. Trying to shield it as best he can, but 77 comes along and takes it. 77, a lot to defend there as he gives the ball away, and it's going to be a goal kick.
Good job by the defense on that play, but here comes Jadiel. Jadiel with 3 defenders on him. No other option but to shoot here, and he puts a nice shot on goal. Keeper does well to cover his near post. And unfortunately, Ali's in the right place, but the no ball comes out to him like it did in Arizona for him to put in the back of the net.
All right, Colton plays this one out to the right side. Big 77 there, but he ends up fouling and turning it over.
Well, it's actually going to be a handball here, and you can see it right there. Touches his outside of his arm as he tries to get control of it. Free kick, South Florida.
All right, well, time is ticking away here for South Florida. They need a goal, and they need it now. As John plays this ball long, he finds Nick. Nick trying to fight to retain possession. He does. He plays it out wide for Jadiel. Johnny Yelp makes a quick pass to Nick. Nick falls in the box yet again, and players looking for something, and they get nothing. West Florida plays this ball once more. Oh, Martine undercuts the West Florida player. He says, play on, referee. West Florida again back with the ball, playing it up the field to their one player who plays a nice ball out to the right side, and he's got nothing but green in front of him. And that ball goes delivered into the box, again, right on target. This time, Don clears the ball away with authority, but number 77 comes down with it. Ball played into the box again, popped over, but offsides is the call.
Before we get to the offsides, here is another look. I don't really see much contact there. Not enough to call the penalty. Can't say the referee got that wrong. And then before, you said that Don cleared this ball, but it really looks like John, and that was a peach of a pass from the West Florida Flames player. And then here's the offsides. As you can see, he's clearly behind the defense. And that ball, I don't think, was going to be a threat. So, South Florida ball.
All right, well, Colton takes it short to John. South Florida electing for possession, and they got plenty of room to do it. West Florida not pressing them as hard as they have been. Deep ball in, was looking for Nick. West Florida got in front of it. Ball back into Don's feet. He's got 3 West Florida players closing in on him. He puts a nice pass over the top right to Crosby. Crosby one-on-one. Trying to take it to the post here. And, I think he might have won a corner. They're debating it. And yes, he did. He won a corner. All right, Nick on the ball now. Time is getting close here. Referee's having to address an issue in the box.
Oh, that is.
Ball's in.
Oh,
there
you
go.
Oh,
he gets a and it's in the goal.
Yes.
It's in the goal. South Florida hits
right.
2-2. Oh,
it's magic.
ladies and gentlemen.
That is
2-2. The
the
fans are
game
going
there,
nuts
lads.
here in Brandon, Florida, where South Florida just tied this game 2-2. Let's take another look.
Well, I don't believe in miracles, but I think I just seen one. Little Ali in the back puts it through. And I don't know if Jaden got a foot to it, but maybe. But regardless, it's a great goal there. Look at the little Ali puts that ball in. I think right there, Jaden may have gotten a foot to it. I don't know. But doesn't matter. The ball is in the back of the net. It's 2-2. And they may have just escaped with a point here.
Well, the referee's not even going to let the kickoff happen. He is blowing the game over. And, man, can you believe the outcome that has come out here today? South Florida tying it in the last play of the game. Coach Jordan immediately coming over. Looks like he's going to have some words with the referee. I cannot believe that this was the ending here. I'm just at a loss for words, Jeffrey.
Oh, well, if you're going to give me an opportunity to speak, I'm going to take it. This was not the best performance from South Florida, but it's the best result that they could have hoped for, given what has occurred here today. That was a great goal at the end. The birthday boy may have had the game winner there, Jaden, but little Ali, again, coming up big in the big moments of the game, putting that ball into the area, whether Jaden got the touch or not, it's still a part of him putting it back there. So good job from Ali in this game. What a huge tie for South Florida to keep them in the MLS Next Flex, going for that tournament in May.
Yes, this is an all-important point that South Florida has earned against a team that is above them in the ranking. So this was a big thing to tie them as opposed to losing to them, which would have just buried them in the results. So South Florida come away with a tie here, and whoa, I shudder to think what may have occurred here, but the winning streak or the non-losing streak continues as South Florida has won 3, tied 1 of their last 4, and look to continue the streak into tomorrow against the Chargers. And again, we remind you, 38-degree weather here in Florida. Now, that might seem like a picnic to someone like Jeffrey, but for us Floridians, that's definitely going to be cold. Will it play a factor, Jeffrey?
Well, I know it will for you, but for these players, hopefully this tie will keep them warm. And I'm sure the talking to that they're getting from their coach and from their captain Well, remind them to stay warm tomorrow. Otherwise, they might be in for a long ride home in that cold weather.
Well, Coach Jordan, I'm sure, is addressing this with the players, but this is still a very important victory for them. Or I shouldn't say victory, but tie. Feels like a victory, having won it in the last play of the game, having been denied a penalty earlier on that everyone on that side of the field said it was there. You could hear it from the sideline, the clattering of the legs and the shin guards. How it wasn't called, we may not know. But what an amazing tie to come out of here with at least a point is something I know these boys will remember. So, takeaways from today is the streak continues. MLS Next Flex still in sight. And we will be coming at you with the Chargers game next. So make sure that you click like and subscribe to Mad About Soccer if you want to continue this journey through the South Florida Football Academy's U15 2009 Boys Division. And we can continue to bring you some great highlights, great games, and you can see the future stars of MLS right here before they make it big. Thank you again for watching. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next game.
Yeah.